Emma, what's your pre-game prediction?
Oh gosh, my pre-game prediction. Well, I'm gonna give it a 9, but I know it's not going to be a 9 probably.
A 9 from Emma.
I'm just excited.
Here we go. I'm going to give it an 8.
We are reviewing Game 5 for Inside the 29 for 30. We went to Dallas and we saw the Clippers play the Mavs on January 22nd.
It's just so loud. Okay, now we're gonna do this segment, getting there and getting in. So when we got there, I wanted to go through the main entrance because I wanted to see Dirk's statue. So we ended up having to walk around the entire stadium.
We were going to park near the stadium, but it was $35, and the cheapest we found was $25. Still expensive, and that was at least 3 blocks away. This segment is That's the Ticket. We had bought Mavs tickets way back at the beginning of the season for about $45. We had to sell those. We sold them about 2 days before the game for about $73 each. This game, we bought tickets the day of, just hours before the game. We were able to get them about $50 each, but we got great seats.
You want to see during the third quarter.
These are the little seats before the whole section is back behind us. But we just got 2 rows here, which is pretty cool.
Our next segment is Are You Not Entertained? I would say the hype video, I'll give it like a rating of 6. I thought it was interesting that it was mostly clips from their last game, which was against the Heat. Interesting that they didn't do a collective of the season or past seasons. So, 6.
I have a very similar rating. There's no flame, no real involvement of the mascot. There was no element that included the fans, like standing up or using lights. So I'm gonna give it a 5.
Our next segment is Rate the Fans. I would probably give them a rating of like 5. It was hard because it was a matinee game, so there was just fewer people there. And they were excited for some of the plays, but it was just kind of muted. So 5 is maybe generous.
I'm going to give them a 4. Unfortunately, it's the worst fan response I've seen of the teams that I've gone to. First of all, the arena was not full, and it never got full. There was a Cowboys game just hours later that I guarantee impacted the attendance. Yeah, the folks to the right of us were watching the Chiefs game while we were
to the front of us.
Or watching the football game during the basketball game. The MC really had to push them to try to yell or to try to get into it, even when it was a very close game.
They did like the loud meter or whatever, like a few
And
times
nobody
in the game just
responded.
to get people to clap and to like get excited. So
A quick little note for our The Look segment. I am wearing navy with a black collar. This is an absolutely abhorrent concept to me personally. I was taught never mix navy and black. What do the Mavs do? Wear their navy and black jerseys. In honor of their hideous color clashing connection, I have done the same. I've never worn this shirt out.
I still like the navy, but I get it with the black. It's better than their white jerseys. Those are
Completely agree.
abysmal.
Emma, what did we get?
We got a little poster that turns into a fan.
And then you flap
And then
it.
you
You
can-
got
yeah.
very nice. So this is the $5 water deja vu. We're here. You probably can't hear us. We have great seats. You can see up there, but we just have 2 seats here. We got a 9-inch pizza, and we're about to have some. I'm going to give the pizza a 7.5. I thought it was pretty good. And I'm going to give the court a 7. I like it okay, but I'm not as much for the gray coloring. Sorry.
Our next segment will be framed as a question. But how did it make you feel, Emma?
Good. I enjoyed the game. I just enjoyed being there. I'd seen so many photos and like videos of the stadium, but like being there definitely felt very different and exciting.
Yeah.
I was all smiles. So yeah, it made me feel very happy. I'll give it like 8.5 maybe. Yeah, a little bit lower than before just because they lost. And the crowd was just kind of muted, but still I think the experience was as exciting as I expected.
Good.
Just being there was amazing, no matter what.
I cannot fully forgive them for what they did to the Suns. Unlike Emma, who has forgiven and forgotten, I cannot. The arena is great. It was a fairly close game up until maybe the end of the fourth quarter, but we did have a good game. Muted response from the fans. I'm going to give it a rating of 7. Shout out to the arena. I thought the arena is the first one I've seen that was all brick on the outside and laid out in a really nice way.
It was so cool to just, again, be there, and then we got to see Dirk's statue and pose next to it. Cool. Yeah, that was very cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad we were able to go after it was put up. The next segment is Emma's emotions and Bekah's breakdown. I will share my emotions. I would say the first emotion is excitement. Just being there, being in the building, seeing all the Luka merch, and just seeing him play. Like, I was so excited when he made like his first shot, and I got to cheer.
And wear your jersey?
Yes, I got to wear my jersey. I had seen him play at Footprint Center, the Sun Stadium, but again, I can't cheer when I'm there because they would yell at me.
Full throttle.
I would do little claps, but this time I got to like stand up and cheer really loudly. So yes, and then I guess sadness because they lost. I think Luka also ran out of steam because he carries the team.
Yeah, he looked like he was tired.
Well, I don't know if it's confusion, but I found it interesting. I don't know if that's a feeling, but fascinating? No. What's the emotion? I guess I felt some awe a little bit. I knew that Luka is their team. But I think just seeing all the merch is always just Luka's jerseys, and all the signs and all the posters and everything is just about Luka and Dirk. But I think I also felt a little bit of sadness because there are other players on the team.
Disappointment.
Yes, maybe disappointment is what I felt. Yes. I felt a little disappointment to see not, other players being represented. Eventually we went into the store and we saw other jerseys, but you had to go into their store.
It's the Luka show.
To see them.
Yeah.
Because every single other place was just all Luka.
For Bekah's breakdown, when either team took shots, there was a distinct sound for that shot, and it was loud. Mm-hmm. Whether it went through the bucket, whether it missed completely, whether it hit off iron, air balls, everything had a very loud sound. There has been an article written on The Athletic. What we learned is that there is a sound engineer that has his finger on the audio dial and is manually doing that 200 plus times during a game. I wasn't the biggest fan. I felt that the sound was a little misleading. If you were to do an air ball, but the ball hit the bottom of the net, it has in effect the exact same sound as a swish. And maybe if you're a fan there, you get used to it, you like it, it's part of the experience. Hearing it for the first time, it felt a little jarring.
It was interesting. I think I didn't realize it was like that happened at their stadium, even though I've watched so many like games on TV and home games, and I even watched the next game and like barely heard the sound, but it's so loud in the stadium.
Mark Cuban basically wanted it. He heard it in a college game and he was like, this is something that we're gonna have. He pays a sound engineer to sit there and move their finger up and down on the microphone.
Sounds like a terrible job.
So there you go. That is a unique Mavs element. And that's it for Inside the 29. Okay.
You did get a bunny for New Year's.